Right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And for those of you who are guests, a very, very special welcome. I hope there are many of you guests because this is something for you. And the invitation said something like this. Are you looking for something more in life? And I believe what you're about to see is that something more. My name is Esses Anambasi, and I have the utmost pleasure of introducing and asking Mark Hazell to show you that something more. And um, I looked at it and I've never looked at anything else and I've never looked back. And I hope that will be the same experience for you. So, Mark, please take it away.
Cesar, thank you very much for that introduction. Yes, not looking at anything else. And folks, just a little bit about myself before I go and show why I've not looked at anything else either. And had opportunities brought my way, but just didn't do that. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to bring up my presentation so that I can talk to the presentation for you, and we will take it away from there. And then let's see if we get this going. And welcome to everybody who's online this evening. It really is good to have you there and to be able to share with you this incredible opportunity. I'm speaking to you from a little city called Grahamstown in the Eastern Cape of South Africa. And it is really amazing to think that here I am sitting in this rather chilly spot of the country where I am. And I'm yet being able to talk to people all around the country and wherever you actually might be. So my own story starts like this, and here we go. My background is horticulture and environmental management. I studied and started working in my professional life in Durban, South Africa, and eventually moved into the Eastern Cape and then further on to where I am now, as I said, here in Grahamstown in the Eastern Cape. And really what we're looking at tonight is such an incredible journey of possibility. And really it is a journey. It's going to take you to places that you probably never imagined that you would go if you can just grasp a little bit about what we share here this evening. We're actually on a mission to help others to discover better health, financial freedom, and that sense of purpose. You know, it's so wonderful to wake up in the morning and to have a sense of direction and a sense of purpose. And today has been one of those particular ones, and I'm not going to get into the detail of that, but it's been delightful. And a commitment to growth. You know, when you've got high quality products and a proven training system, it's amazing. And then the other aspect is this vision of legacy. And really, you're going to see what happens here. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about my own journey, first of all. When I was a youngster living in the Eastern Cape, I had this recurring dream that just kept on coming back and coming back and coming back. And I didn't understand it. And as life would have it, my family moved eventually from the Eastern Cape to Durban City, where my father was a pastor in a church there. And at the church, we had a church weekend focusing on dreams. Now, dreams are really an important component in one's life. And what was interesting about this idea of dreams was that we went to this camp, and there was a Christian psychologist there. And I said to her, Frida, can you tell me what my dream means? Because now I was already working and had this dream for many, many years. And she said to me, Mark, if it's of God, he will reveal it to you in his own time. And for me, I didn't understand it. And many years later, having moved from Durban to start a career in East London, and then I got appointed to a middle management position here in Grahamstown, and this dream was still in my head. And one day, driving through from the coast where I was visiting with my parents before we could move into our home here in the city, I had the same dream in my head, but what I saw on the road seemed to match the dream. It was like a puzzle piece that matched. And for me, it's really relevant because it talks to what we're doing tonight. Because in the dream were a number of elements. There was a mountain which faced northeast. There were trees, wattle trees and pine trees, and there were turtle doves. That was the physical side of it. The other side was the people side. Within the dream, people were coming to a situation where I was present, where they were learning to dream, they were learning to make money, they were learning to live healthily, they were learning to manage their time and to become confident and grow spiritually. And what I'm sharing with you tonight is the end result of that dream. And it's wonderful to have rediscovered this dream after so many years and to realize that I have a purpose in life. And maybe tonight, this is your purpose, that you're going to find that there's something more in life that can make a difference to you. And so let's take ourselves through the presentation and have a look and see what the reality was. We were living in a situation where there was rising costs like there are now. Electricity was also going up. We had 3 children. Food was expensive. Education was expensive. Managing one's health was also expensive. All those things were there. And I'd started consulting on a part-time basis in my area of horticulture and environmental management, but discovered that working harder was no longer really an option. And for many people, it's not enough to give them what they're actually looking for. So I asked the question of myself, and I ask this of you: what if there's more? More time to do the things that you really would like to do, an opportunity to create financial freedom without giving up what you currently have in the way of an income source, if you have an income source, to have vibrant health and energy. I was talking to somebody just today who was saying when they drive to Johannesburg, they stop every 7 hours and they overnight. And here I'm going to be driving up to Johannesburg shortly, and I'll drive through the 14 hours in one day. And it's wonderful to have that kind of energy and the opportunity to have the vibrant health that allows one to travel. And we've had some amazing travel as a result of what was shown to us. I was very skeptical. I was very negative, and it took 18 months before the friend of my sister persuaded us to come and have a look at a presentation similar to what you're going to see tonight. And, you know, the other thing that started to happen was that we started to build these meaningful relationships. And many people today are looking for more meaningful relationships, that opportunity to actually make a difference in the world. But one of the things that I became aware of is that sometimes a dream is planted long before we understand it. And that's really what happened with me. I just did not understand the dream. And it was only when we were sitting in a conference in Bloemfontein, after we got started in this business, that I realized that what we had been shown and what this friend of ours had persisted over 18 months, she came to the house and spoke to my wife who was running a nursery, and she became a bit of a pain. But I thank God she was a little bit of a Jack Russell. She just didn't give up for those 18 months. Because sitting in that conference that weekend, I suddenly realized that I'd been given a gift that would touch other people's lives way beyond me, way beyond my own life. And so let's have a look, see where we go from there, and why I think this is going to work and could work for you as well. Out there are people who have a real need. People are searching for solutions. I mean, we didn't have enough money to put tires on the car, pay school fees, and put bread on the table in the same month. That's where we were. That was the need that we had. And I'm sure there are many people today, as I talk to businessmen around our city, as I meet people when I travel, so many people have got financial issues and they're worried about their future and they're worried about the things that they need to have. Other people have got real dreams, like my real dream. We want more out of life. We're looking for that something more. And what we're doing at the moment is probably not helping you to get where you want to get. The other thing that comes into play for me about why this particular system and this concept works, it's a proven system. The system has been around for many, many years, and many, many people around the world, in fact, in over 55 countries around the world, people's lives have been changed because of a very simple, duplicatable, easy to follow program. And you might look at it tonight and say, Mark, like I did, I don't really understand. If you're teachable and willing to learn new things and simple things, you too can plug into this system, take constant actions on a daily basis, And you'll find that, as the saying says, when a real need meets a real solution and a proven system, everyone wins. And for me, that's exciting to know that if you're prepared to just become teachable and follow the system, you too can start reaping the fruits of what is on offer. And how do we do this? Well, this is what we did. We registered with this company called Neolife. They've been around for over 60 years. In fact, I think it's 66 years now, 1958. 68 years, in fact, yeah. Operating in over 50 countries around the world. And this SAB is not the South African breweries, it's actually the Scientific Advisory Board. And one of the things that once we became involved in the business with my background in horticulture and environmental management, began to understand the significance of a Scientific Advisory Board that has integrity. They research and develop and manufacture and guide the production processes of the product ranges that we have, of which there are 4 different ranges. There's personal and skincare, the most phenomenal skincare range out. There's environmentally friendly, non-toxic and non-caustic and economical home care and industrial cleaners. And then we've got the amazing nutritional support, nutritional supplements, organic, whole food, GMO free. And one of the things for me that made a big difference is that we started to use those products skeptically at first. I didn't believe in nutrition, although I'd studied it as a horticulturist. And only when I got involved in this business did I really begin to understand what my climatology and soil science lecturer had taught us about organic being different, about whole food type things being different, and that the source makes a difference. And so my life improved, my health improved. And I have, at nearly 73, I have no medication whatsoever. I had a beautiful run on the mountain this morning, another one on Tuesday. And so, we have these incredible products that we get access to, but I'm not going to deal any more with them because I want you to see the systems, the support systems that we have in place in order for us to achieve those dreams that we are looking to achieve. And we need to do, like we did, the 3 daily success habits. Folks, they're just 3 simple tasks you need to focus on every day. It's not like at the work where you get given all sorts of things and you sometimes don't know whether you're coming or going. The 3 simple daily tasks and habits are, first of all, when you get registered with the business, you're going to start buying products for yourself. And so that's going to be the first thing. You're going to change your shopping habits from buying from the supermarket. You're going to just get from your own stock that you keep at home. And folks, you want to really make sure that you keep a stock at home. I've had a number of calls for product just this week. It's been an exciting week to see who's wanting product. But if you have your own products and you change your shopping habit, you keep stock for yourself, you keep stock for other people, and you'll see what we talk about there. And what I like about this step number 1, when you use the products, you get believability that the product works. I didn't believe in some of the products, but once I started to use them, find my energy coming back, my skin improving, I didn't have to have any medication over the last number of years that we've been involved in the business. That's been wonderful. You then also get the discount because you're buying direct from the company and you're saving that 20% that we talked about over there. And because you are feeling good and because you're saving money, you want to start sharing the business concept with others. And it's a very simple process as well. All you need to say to somebody, if I could show you a way to generate an additional income over and above what you currently earn, would you be open to have a look? And some people will say yes, some people will say no, and that's fine, because what happens is over a period of time, you might get your first 6 in. And we're not limited to 6, but this is just for the example for this evening's presentation. So if you've got 6 people in your group there, and they do what you do, they start to use the products. You now have got some products that you're using yourself. You're going to get some customers because some of the people, maybe a lot of the people that you invite are not going to be interested in the business, but you can offer them the product. And then you can make a bit of profit on the product that you buy for them to purchase from you. And then you're going to, through that, generate some turnover. And we talk about PV. And if you're doing at least 100 or more points in a month, you're creating volume for yourself. And I really want to impress on you this evening how if you just do that simple habit every single month and you share the business or share the gift with other people, and if each of the 6 people in your team do something similar, 100 points or more, what's going to happen is that Neolife, our support company, they're going to calculate all the volumes that have come from your team plus your own volume, and you're going to end up with some turnover. And the turnover that you can expect to earn is about 7 times 100 points of turnover. And on that, you're going to earn yourself some additional income because the points accumulate to 700 points. And on that, you can expect to earn about 800 Rand a month. Now, you might say to me, Mark, 800 Rand, I need more than that. Well, when we started off, I think we earned about 24 Rand and a little bit of profit, probably about 100 Rands worth of profit. Because we weren't really into selling, but we were into wanting the discount. But folks, if you have a look at what happens here, you're going to see this incredible way in which the duplication happens. Because if we help this person here to find their first 2 people, and then help them to find their next 2 people, what you've got here in A's group, you've got a 700-point unit. And so A is now earning about 800 Rand in the month on this particular example. Now, you're going to say, but Mark, he's earning the 800. What happens to me? Well, you've helped to create a much bigger organization here. You've still got these other 5 people plus your own. And so you've now got 700 points from A. You've got 600 points from yourself. And that gives you 1,300 points worth of turnover in the month. And on that basis, you can expect to earn at least 1,800 Rand a month or more in terms of profit or bonus. Now, my brother-in-law, who's a chartered accountant, he said to me, Mark, this person here is going to want to earn more, and this person's going to want to earn more. And so they're going to all start building their own teams. And in the example I'm giving you here, you're going to see that each one of these people does about 700 points worth of turnover in the month. In reality, it doesn't work that way. It works very differently, but this is just for the example. Some people do a lot more, some people do less. But if you take that accumulated volume, you've now got 6 people doing 700 points worth of turnover. You are still, in this example, only doing 100 points. And this is the simplicity of it. As your business grows, it's going to get more and more over time. And you're going to now have 4,300 points worth of turnover in that particular month. Now, that works out at about $4,300 worth of business. That's a fairly substantial business. And so therefore, you can expect to earn 12,000 Rand a month, but maybe even much more. Because with the way the concept works, nobody is limited in terms of how many people they can help, how many people they want to empower, how many people have got big dreams so that they can go further and earn that much more. So there is absolutely no limit as to the earning potential that you have. And I know, and I have good friends and good mentors in the business who are earning substantially more than this. In fact, maybe 10 times more and even more than that. And it's been wonderful to see how over a period of time, if you're consistent and you're persistent in following those simple habits. And third, if you focus on personal development. Personal development is probably one of the biggest areas of growth that all of us need. And because we're working with people, we can plug into this incredible system called the Eagle Team Business Building System. We celebrate free enterprise in a special way because we have materials that we can use outside of what Neolife gives us. We have events that we arrange for conferences and boot camps. There's support systems with technology and podcasts and things like that that come out. And there's a bunch of additional incentives which the person who invited you along this evening can share with you and tell you more about once the presentation is over. So, folks, that very simply is the model that we're sharing this evening. The question is, how much do you want to get out of life? How much more are you prepared to get out of life? I had to get myself off all sorts of organizations that I was chairman of. I was chairman of 6 different organizations, but we were flat broke. And once the penny dropped for me and I could see that I could still work my job and I could work a little bit of part-time over a lunchtime, over a weekend, over an evening like now. And congratulations to all of you who are guests this evening for being here, because you're taking a little bit of time away from something else in order to benefit yourself through this incredible concept of being involved with this near-life business opportunity. And so as you focus on doing those simple things, you too can have the fruits and the results that come from it. You're going to need to want to work over a 2 to 5 year period. Folks, don't even think of doing it for the next few months. Anything of value, whether you're planting a garden, whether you're building a house, whether you're building a business, whether you're building relationships, you want to conceive those growing over a period of time. And so we talk about working this business part-time over a 2 to 5 year period, so that you can lay the foundation. If you lay the foundation right and you get these people established, you teach them what to do, you help them to duplicate themselves into their organization, and you duplicate yourself through the other people that you have, you too can expect to earn considerably more. But think of it in the long term. Never, ever give up. We've seen people who've given up, who've lost a fortune, because suddenly when they've given up, the rest of their team has taken off and they've moved. So you want to stick around for payday, folks. You don't want those negative people in your community like I had who said, oh, no, you don't want to do that business. Everybody's doing it. Well, I didn't see any of those everybody's in our town who've been to Mexico, Norway, Ghana, Kenya, Abu Dhabi, London, Hong Kong, all these kind of places that I've had the privilege of traveling to with my wife when she was still involved with the business before she passed on. And just so wonderful to have been able to show to people who were skeptical and negative that you just follow the program and the program will deliver for you if you are willing to just follow that program. So there is our concept. How do we go from there? Now, I'm not going to go through this particular slide in detail, but you would register as a distributor and you'll earn a small commission, and you become a manager and step up to senior manager, and then you step up to executive manager, and you step up to director. And folks, beyond director, there's a whole series of steps that one continue to take as you build more and more people in your organization, as you earn more and more, as you empower more and more people. So the key to success in our business is to take the first step and become a distributor, and then just keep on climbing, keep on growing, and keep on going. Because if you keep on going, whether it be to a training event, to the support events, to the near-life events that there are, whether you use the resources that you have in your near-life website, which I'll talk a little bit about now, those will all help you to keep moving forward. And so when you get registered, you start the first of your steps. And it's the first of your 3 daily steps is to register and then to start to use your products, to share the opportunity, and to grow. And I love the way that this has been designed for me to create those steps that you can see yourself going up better. And each step that you go up, the view changes and improves. But you can only appreciate it if you get involved, if you plug into the system, if you plug into the events, if you plug into the community, if you plug into the website that you get. Because when you register with Nearlife, you are given a free website that gives all the resources that you need. You can order online, you can track your orders, you can track your organization, etc., etc. That all comes free with the starter kit that you will purchase, and I'll show that to you shortly. And then you want to make sure that you step up. So even as you register, the first thing is to step up. Step up and start using the product. Step up and start sharing the opportunity with other people, so that you lead yourself. The best leaders are those who lead themselves. And you will find, if you like me, that there's an incredible opportunity there to meet people and touch people's lives in a way that you never realized possible through this imagining yourself out there with an impact far beyond who you are, because you've got a system that supports you, you've got other people that support you. And so there's a lot more than just the income. There's a sense of purpose. And it's just so wonderful to meet people who have also got a sense of purpose. You find their energy just drives you. It's wonderful to interact with people whose health has improved. I heard a wonderful story today of somebody who's been on our keynote nutritional product called Tree and N for 10 days. And he is so excited. He wants the person who offered it to him to organize an event for me to come to Durban to come and do something, because all sorts of things happening. I'm not going to tell you the details, but another one that we had from the same area, somebody who's been a comrades runner for 10 years. It's his 10th one this year. He's run 9 comrades, and every one of those 9 comrades, he feels like he had a dog biting his calf and cramping like seriously. This year he ran on our Tree and N, our lipids and our sterol blend, and he had no pain. And he is just so excited about the energy that he's feeling. Somebody is writing on my board. Please do not write on the board. Please keep your hands to yourself. And so health is there. My own health. I had a suspected heart attack at the time we looked at the business, and I am now 72. And as I said earlier, I'm on absolutely no meds, and it's wonderful to be that healthy. I can tell you lots of stories about that. Then we've got the finances. As you build your business, you've got the finances that come in. You've got the relationships that come through the people. And we've got, even on this group here tonight, there are people that I've met because of this group who are not part of my own team, but we get together at the functions, we get together at the leadership events, and we share and care for each other. There's support. And again, I'm part of a different group, but I'm helping to support this particular group as well, and we work together. And then, folks, if you're into adventure, there is just so much adventure out there. You will be amazed at the things that you can do, whether it's going to the Devil's Pool in Victoria Falls, or whether it's going to Mauritius, or whether it's going to a boot camp and hiking and going game viewing. Lots of opportunities for adventure because you've taken the opportunity to join with the Neolife family. And then there's the whole opportunity to leave a legacy, because this business is willable, it's transferable. You can operate in over 55 countries or more around the world. And so it's a lot more than just the income. So you need to decide where you're going to start, and you need to start right where you are. You can start off as a retail customer, yes, and that will be good. As a retail customer, you'll be able to experience the products, you'll be able to have a more environmentally friendly home, etc., etc. If you want to have a little bit of a discount, you can start as a member and you'll save about 10%, and you then order direct for yourself from Neolife. But if you really want to have an impact on your own family and on the bigger world community, you want to become a business builder. And this is the business kit that I would strongly recommend you take. In fact, in the Eagle team, we are pushing this because we know that people who use the products and use the cleaning products, use the nutritionals and the personal care and the other nutritional products there and the skin care, they get a believability that the product works. They know that they work. They know that they're saving. And so when you get excited that the product is working, you want others to benefit. I've got a new distributor in Durban. She phoned me today. Mark, I'm so excited with the stories I'm going to be sharing with you. She's had her business kit for just over a week. So, when you become a business builder, you can start sharing the opportunity with others and making a difference to other people's lives. So you really want to decide, do you want to open the door to your future? Do you want that time to be with friends and loved ones? Do you want that health? Do you want to build those relationships? Do you want to have that future that you can look forward to as you age, where you've got income coming in, but you've also got the health that comes with it, and you've got the friendships and the relationships that start with it? Please don't follow that link unless you were specifically invited by me. The person who invited you will enable you to get their link, and you can link online to Neolife this evening and become a part of this incredible family as you participate in the journey that's going to take you to where you really want to go. And now I need to get this presentation to move on. It's got stuck for a moment. There we go. So the question that I want to ask you is, what will you do with this particular moment? And before we close, I want to just see, Cesar, you are online. Let me see who else is online here at the moment. Yeah, I think I'm going to ask you, you introduced me. It says, won't you please just briefly open your microphone and let the people know what near life has meant for you, just in about 2 minutes. If you can tell us what near life means to you. Somebody is writing on the board again.
Okay.
Um, maybe it says,
Oh, wow.
I
Somebody's
don't
excited. That's good.
know.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Essa Zanambasi. Before I saw this opportunity, I was actually looking for something that would help me to help my children not to go onto all those pharmaceutical products, medications. Okay, by training, I'm a medical doctor. I'm married to Eddie, who himself is a doctor as well. And we have three children, and now we have two grandchildren. But when we first saw this opportunity, my children were younger and they were complaining of things like eczema and all those irritations, hay fever. And, as a doctor, I was actually being pressurized to medicate them with antihistamines and stuff like that. And I resisted because I had, through medical school, been very, very unhappy with the side effects of drugs. So when I came out, I started looking for something that would impact my family. And when I saw that the soaps and the detergents we were buying had a lot of chemicals on them, I freaked out. Let's put it that way. So yeah, that's how come I was looking. And so when I prayed for an opportunity, this is what came. And I am forever grateful that, yes, somebody thought of me enough to invite me to have a look. And his question was, if I were to show you a way to make an extra income, would you have a look? Many people freak out at that question. I didn't. I just said, yes, I will have a look as long as it is legal. I wasn't going to do anything illegal. And that's how we started. So the first thing I did was to throw out all the detergents I'd ever bought. We used to go shopping, fill the trolley, pile everything in a cupboard. I threw everything out and replaced them and then studied them. And I indeed proved that they were non-toxic, they were very economical, and they were not harmful to my children. And my children actually started feeling better. The eczema started clearing up. But as time went on, I got into the nutrition as well because the kit, just like Mark has shown you the the big kit, we call it the combo kit. It has a bit of everything, some nutrition, some cleaning, some skincare, and some other supplements. So we had a kit similar to that in those days, and ours even had a shake in it, if I recall. And we got into the nutrition, and guess what? Everybody's health could be seen to be improving. So I became radical and I said, yeah, instead of cereals, I'm going to buy shake for breakfast. And that's how we changed our buying habits. But let me not carry on too long. I just want to encourage any of you who is here for the first time. Don't think too hard because really, when they say it is a no-brainer, they mean it. It is an opportunity that is so precious and so rare that now that you're looking at it, turn to the person who told you about it and ask all the questions that you have to ask. They will be answered. I'm just thinking last night at about midnight, um, my niece who lives in Boston in the United States, we made an arrangement. Now for her it was 5 o'clock, 5 in the evening. For us, it was coming to 11. It was after 11. But she was so excited because she had talked to somebody and the person wanted to have a look. So we chatted very amicably. And this morning I woke up and the guy had signed up. That is what is possible today. You know, you don't have to talk too many stories. You can sign up online. So, Mark, please finish off. Thank you.
Cesar, thank you very much for that. It's wonderful to hear those stories of people who are signing up in other parts of the world, and yet you're here in South Africa. So thank you for that indeed. Do appreciate it. And folks, one of the things I would like to share with you is that you saw that open door, and the door is open for you to walk through. And the choice is yours. Do you want to walk through it, or do you want to stay on the other side in the dark and in the cold? Or do you want to go out into the open sunshine and experience all the opportunity that there is there for your own life to change, but also for the lives of the people that you would like to change? So what do? Turn to the person who invited you and say to them, I'm ready to get started. They can meet you in person, or they can send you their link, which you saw during the presentation. You can register immediately and you can get yourself online. Like Cesar was saying, they've registered online overnight. And hey, presto, you start that journey. Yes, there's going to be challenges. Yes, you're going to have to work hard. But at the end of the day, when you look back and you say to yourself, oh my word, it really was worth it. And you say to yourself, I didn't know that I could go to Hong Kong. I didn't know that I could go to Ghana and to Kenya and to London and places like that. I didn't know that I could sleep well and wake up fresh in the morning, etc., etc. So the choice is yours to get started as a customer or to become a business builder. And if you're deciding to become a business builder, we look forward to see you plugging into the events. And I would encourage you, if you're new here tonight, and even if you're not new, make sure that you're in Pretoria with us on the 18th of October for the most amazing annual event that Neolife has to offer, the annual summit, Neolife Summit, with people from all over Southern Africa who are excited about the future, excited about what the business has done. And who knows, you might come along there with your own excitement and you could find yourself being encouraged by somebody who's just like you, who has a dream. And before I close, I think there are one or two people, or maybe three people that I invited to join us this evening. If you are on, please just stick around and put your hand up and say, I'm here. I'd love to have a chat with you while we're online together. And so from my side in Grahamstown, where winter is still knocking on the door, it came whistling in again this evening. But my heart is warm, and I trust your heart will be warm, and that you will warm the hearts of others as you go and share this gift with people around the world and make a difference in their lives by helping other people to become healthier and happier, and making one change with one person, one at a time. So from me, go well and God bless. See you again.